So welcome to this video for you who grew up with a narcissistic mother, which is the people that I'm talking to, other survivors like myself. And I'm also a registered therapist, and I work in private practice, and I also have online programs, and well, this is what I do. This is my life. So in this video, I've kind of felt that I've been talking a lot about the experience of having a narcissistic mother, and I think that is really important. And I know a lot of the feedback has been that I feel so validated by what you're putting words on, because I do realize that as a therapist, seeing someone's pain, seeing their experience, having that inside perspective, and really naming it and validating it and seeing it and so on, that really does have a lot of power to help us heal. Connecting with our own experience, even if it's painful, is a step towards healing, as long as it's done so that you are obviously, if you're struggling with stability in your life and you can't cope with the pain and so on, then you need professional help. And also, this is educative and not really meant to replace your medical and psychological professionals that can really help you for your situation. But in general, speaking the truth and the experience is really something that really well, you can see it in the comments, I can see it in the comments, that it really does help people. And then there are some who say, well, you say that, but it didn't help because I feel worse. But the thing is, that is your true feelings. I'm not making you feel anything. I'm just talking about feelings that you already have and that are inside of you. And of course it hurts. This is just horrendous experiences that we have of abuse. So in this video, I still want to move on now to how to actually help people, how to help you, how to look at struggles that you have. And you're very welcome to write into me with your situation. Obviously not like lots of personal information, but if you can keep it a little bit brief, and then I can use this to try to support you anonymously, of course. And often we recognize ourselves in other people's experiences, and that can just be really healing and really good. So that's a really good thing. If you are interested in that, then you can find my email address and do that. So this woman wrote to me, and she's feeling really insecure around other people. And she's also very lost and not knowing who she is. And she longs to be loved and accepted, and to have connection with others, and to feel understood. And truly to have a feeling that she belongs somewhere, and not feel so lost all the time. So the feeling of being lost is very common, and it's very normal for people to feel that way, because one of the things that creates us to connect with ourselves is being seen by our parent for who we truly are. So if you have parents who can accurately see you and relate to you from seeing you instead of seeing themselves, or not even having a separation boundary, but more like a narcissistic mother would see you as an extension of her. So obviously that is not seeing you. And when you're not helped to see yourself, and you grow up like this, then you're not connected to your true self. Most of us, this is normal psychology, this is for all of us, because none of us come out of our childhoods without bruises. We do get them in different ways. But having a narcissistic mother, often that means that the abuse and the emotional toxicity in this very primary relationship is so heavy that we end up really creating survival patterns and finding a survival personality to adapt to this. And this becomes your personality. It's not your true self. So no wonder then that you are an adult and you are in your survival self. So maybe you are a pleaser, maybe you are a high achiever, maybe you are a comedian, maybe you are, there are, like, just look at people, how many different varieties there are. But that's not necessarily the truth about ourselves. When we really do become mature, there comes a time when we get a very strong calling from, I'm psychospiritual, so we get a very strong calling from spirit, whispering to us to step into who we truly are and to live out who we truly are. So that can cause a lot of, it doesn't necessarily come like that, because it can come in terms of, if you are not living who you truly are, then you will face reminders for this. And that can come through, you think you're having a career and you're very invested in it and so on. Perhaps it doesn't really give you that meaning. Perhaps it doesn't really fulfill you, but it provides for you financially and so on. And you are scared to do something about it. Well, maybe spirit comes and actually takes that away from you, so you're confronted with it. Maybe for some people we get into an accident or get an illness and we need to question our life and see what's really truly important for us and so on. So it's a normal thing that we have this survival personality, and we need to at one point start asking ourselves, is this truly me? And for most of us, these are really deep and difficult questions to answer. And often we have a sense of who we are, and a lot of it's actually survival based. But you can also come at the point when you have a narcissistic mother of really, so you can, if having a narcissistic mother, you can really think that you're a pleaser, you can really think that I'm a high achiever, you can really think that I'm strong, you can really think that, identify with different ways of being, and none of them are actually who you truly are necessarily. But before you pause and ask yourself this question, then you don't really open the door to it, to finding out more about yourself. But I want to say it's really, really common to not know who you are because of all this lack of mirroring. Because in a family of, when there's a narcissistic mother, the whole family is dominated by her and nobody gets to be truthful. Everybody has to buy into the family trance, where nobody actually speaks the truth about that there is an unhealthy person in this family, that there's someone who is controlling and abusive and is only occupied with themselves and lacks empathy for everyone else. Someone who's willing to split up sibling relationships, someone who's willing to weaponize love and to completely control and dominate and get their own way. Nobody talks about this. So there's no truth in the environment that you grow up in. And that means that it's really hard to know where you stand with other people truthfully. No wonder that you're insecure. No wonder that you've been abused, that makes your survival system that's always operating to keep you safe is actually being activated around other people the whole time. Even if you are now 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years later and you are not necessarily around the same people or people who would abuse you. Of course, it does happen a lot that we end up attracting more of the same into our life. So, and there are plenty of abusers around, plenty of people who are takers, who want you to be someone that, or who sniff you out when you've had to succumb to a narcissistic mother. So you need to be very vigilant about who you have in your life, that these people, you need to learn how to actually distinguish between new abusers and people who actually are warm-hearted, kind and empathic, because they are also there. And probably you are one of them, being having grown up with a narcissistic mother. Probably you have developed a lot of empathy. Probably you have developed a deep sense of understanding what pain truly is like, and you don't want this for your children or for other people and so on. So I want to say to this woman that, you know, it's all really, really understandable and normal that you don't know who you are. So I hope that this can bring a sense of some understanding to you when you were really longing for feeling more understood. But I think you will also find, you can also find community and understanding with other people who have experienced this very particular kind of trauma that's been ongoing for your entire childhood, possibly your entire life up until now. So those are the people who have that inside understanding that can really stand near to your experience. And those are the people that might provide a sense of belonging to you. So I provide that kind of program with community, and other people do as well. And so my focus is on helping other people like you, and there are processes there to help you not feel so lost all the time, because there are ways that you can be mirrored, there are ways that you can hear the truth, there are ways that you can connect more to yourself, and these are tools that you can have. So if you feel called by this, then please know that I am here, and you can work with me one-on-one or at the moment. And if this is not at the moment for you, because we're now in May, June, I'm starting a 12-week healing journey program. You're very welcome to contact me, and there's a link in the description for that. And also you can put yourself on the wait list if it's for the next time, if you're interested. But that's where you can learn about yourself, understand yourself more, be in a community, speak the truth, be unshamed, normalized, find more help to how can you come out of the automated insecurity around other people and recognize when you're actually safe and not. So I hope this has been helpful, and I wish you all the best, and bye-bye.